Lindsey, with that being said, with that opening, will today be a good day for people to go check out that new Chick-fil-A over there, Gilroy?
Absolutely. It's going to be a good day. Maybe go through that drive-through because it's going to be a little bit colder. I highly suggest Chick-fil-A breakfast. I'm going to call out our sports director, Maxwell Glenn. He's never had it. And if you haven't either, you should definitely go grab it. And something else, or somewhere else that you could go eat today, that's going to be Domenico's on the Wharf. Let's take a look at Domenico's on the Wharf right now so we could get you out the door this morning. Taking a look at Domenico's on the Wharf, things are looking pretty cool out there, pretty nice, pretty serene. As you can see, we're going to have some cloud coverage that will be going on, as we can see right here on our camera, and that will kind of take over the rest of the day and going into tomorrow as well. Clouds will definitely be the theme there, so things are looking a little bit cloudy there, and that will be reflected on our futurecast, which we'll bring up right now. Taking a look at our futurecast, you can see that cloud coverage will be covering the Monterey area, which was reflective on our Domenico's on the Wharf camera, and as you can see going into the mid-afternoon, still some cloud coverage there along the coast, but maybe pockets of sunshine in Santa Cruz and Big Sur. And as we go into this evening, it's going to be a little bit more of those clouds starting to make their presence, starting to make their way, but not quite taking over just yet. But as we go overnight and into tomorrow, you'll see the cloud takeover is really in full swing, as those clouds will start to take over really most of our viewing area, going inland in the Salinas Valley as well, and even taking over the Santa Cruz coast and Santa Cruz Mountains. So it's going to be a little bit cooler out there. And speaking of cool, let's take a look at those temperatures for today and tonight, starting with the Santa Cruz coast, looking at Santa Cruz and Capitola. Things are looking a lot cooler out there than they have been the rest of this week. Not really a day for the beach day as it has been the rest of this week. Looking at highs across the board, anywhere in the higher 60s and going all the way up to the lower 70s, and those lows being in the mid 50s. And now we go into the Santa Cruz mountain ranges, and that's where things are going to get warmer and warmer. But usually we were looking at, for the rest of the week, we were looking at these temperatures being in the 80s, but now these highs are going to be in the 70s. Looking at temperatures in our highs in the Santa Cruz mountain ranges ranging from the lower 70s going all the way up to the lower 80s, and those lows being anywhere in the lower 50s ranging to the mid 50s. Now let's take a look at more maps. Take a look at more temperatures for today and tonight. Starting with Aptos, let's go all the way to Marina. We'll be looking at highs across the board ranging from the lower 60s all the way up to the upper 60s there in Watsonville. So it's going to be cooler than it has been the past few days. And those lows are going to be anywhere in the mid 50s. As for our high and low here in Salinas, we'll be looking at a high 64 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. It's going to be a little bit cooler today, so jackets are going to be your friends. Sweaters are going to be your friends, so make sure that you have those sweaters on. I know I've been preaching layers for the past few days, but you probably won't be shedding of most of these layers today, as it's going to be a little bit cooler out there. And where it's going to be the coolest, well, that's going to be along the peninsula. Taking a look at these temperatures, let's take a look at the highs and lows. Looking at our highs today, they're going to range anywhere from the lower 60s going all the way up to the mid 60s, and those lows being anywhere in the mid 50s. So definitely going to be some sweater weather there on the peninsula. Let's take a look at more temperatures, starting at Big Sur, going to Carmel Valley, taking it all the way down to the Salinas Valley. Let's start with y'all, Big Sur. Y'all are looking at a high of 66 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. Carmel Valley, y'all are looking at a high of 68 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. And let's go into the Salinas Valley, as things are going to get warmer and warmer, but not too warm, as we will only be hitting our highs in Bradley and Parkfield at the 80s, and they're usually in the 90s there. So let's take a look at that 7-day forecast in our coastal areas. We'll have our highs ranging anywhere from the lower 60s going into the lower 70s into the next week with that heat up on the way, and those lows being in the lower to mid 50s. As for our inland area, it's going to be more of the same, but even warmer, with those highs ranging anywhere from the mid 70s to the mid 90s going into next week, and those lows being anywhere in the mid 50s ranging all the way up to the lower 60s.